Hi, everyone, and thanks for being with me. There's occasionally a report which particularly disturbs me, and it occurred to me today when I saw this report how sad I felt for this young woman who, well, she's 41, but still relatively young, I guess, with lots of living yet to be done, and how sometimes the realities of abuse, particularly sexual abuse of children, and the impact that it has on them as they grow up, is extreme. And in Virginia Giuffre's situation, one has a sense that this was just too much. Now, at the age of 41, today, Saturday, it was discovered that she had suicided. Now, I know that for some people, this is a really uncomfortable, it's an uncomfortable conversation for me just to have with you. But for many people who feel depressed and sad about events and traumas that have happened in their lives, this may trigger some stuff for you. And if it does, I suggest you call Lifeline or you get some support and have some people gather around you to help you through this moment. Because I think there are a lot of people who relate to what Virginia went through. So as a teenager, she was sold into slavery while, incidentally, she was working at Mar-a-Lago and by uh, by Maxwell, by Giselle Maxwell. And I just wish to note that this meeting occurred in a property owned by Donald Trump. And to suggest that Donald Trump had no knowledge of any of Epstein's activities and what he did and the damage that he caused, this is an example of the damage that Epstein did cause. And to some extent, I think, even though it doesn't implicate Donald Trump directly, that it was from his premises that she was conscripted into the service by Giselle Maxwell. And it is sad, I think, to note that at her passing, she had 3 children. She was endeavouring, or she has endeavoured over all of her life since she was a teenager and all this terrible thing happened to her, to seek some sort of understanding, I guess, as to what happened to her and why it happened specifically to her and how she was to deal with this and manage this emotionally and psychologically throughout her life. Now, a month or so ago, she was involved in an accident, a car accident, where she was hit by a bus, I think. And as a result of that, she thought she was going to die. Now, when we conflate, and I'm making some assumptions here because I don't know, but when we conflate the incident of her childhood and being sexually abused and sold to other men, and some of those men are high-profile men, and I guess and I hope that one day those men's names will be disclosed so we all know the horrible people, horrible high-powered people that have impacted this young person's life. And in this, so there's a news article I want to refer to, and it's this one. Virginia Giuffre, who accused Jeffrey Epstein of sexual abuse, she dies at the age of 41. And so one of the most prominent victims in the disgraced US financier Jeffrey Epstein, who also alleged she was sexually trafficked to Prince Andrew, has died. She was 41. Her family issued a statement on Saturday confirming she took her own life at her farm in Western Australia, where she'd lived for several years. The quote is, "It is with utterly broken hearts that we announced that Virginia passed away last night at her farm in Western Australia." She lost her life to suicide after being a lifelong victim of sexual abuse and sex trafficking, the statement read. In the end, the toll of abuse is so heavy that it became unbearable for Virginia to handle its weight. It's important, I think, to understand also the struggles that people have. The struggle to deal with what happened to them as a child and why them. The struggle to deal with the fact that they often aren't believed, particularly when it's about powerful men who abuse them. That they struggle to get on with their lives, to form relationships, positive relationships, because the level of mistrust must be intense. They simply will not trust people. And I don't know what that was like for Virginia, but she did seek to have a better life here in Australia. But it's a sad day because it reminds us of the toll that people have to pay for being assaulted, sexually assaulted and abused by other people, particularly in this particular case, not all cases, but in this particular case, by powerful, powerful men. So it's a sad day. But I'd be really interested to know what some of you might think about all of this and whether or not you have a point of view, a perception or an understanding, I guess, as to what this may be like for others and what we could, in fact, do to eradicate the scourge, which is sexual abuse and the trafficking of children. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. In the meantime, take care, look after yourselves, and more importantly, be